Hello friends and welcome to my new video. Today I'll be talking about a star, an actor who when he began his journey with Hindi films looked like a complete misfit. He didn't have the conventional looks of a hero. He didn't appear to be very talented and he really didn't have too much going for him when he started his career in Hindi cinema. In fact, his first film was quite a disaster because he was to be launched by a famous director in a high profile project. But before the movie could get started, he was replaced by another hero. So that was the beginning of his career. And it's a story of this actor, this star, who has traveled quite a distance, quite a journey in Hindi cinema, and today made a mark for himself both as a star and as a superb performer. And the person I'm discussing today is none other than Saif Ali Khan. Saif Ali Khan, when he started, he looked like a complete misfit in Hindi cinema. As I said, he didn't have the conventional good looks that are sort of associated with a Hindi film hero. And definitely there was no sign of talent in his earlier movies. He just appeared wooden and listless and completely like a fish out of water. He just didn't seem as if he would hang around in Hindi cinema. But hang around he did, and from the turn of the century, we have seen the emergence of a new Saif Ali, a much more confident, a much more rooted Saif Ali, who has enthralled us with some magnificent performances over the years. In today's video, I'll be talking about 10 of my favorite Saif Ali Khan films. So let's begin. But before beginning, as always, these are my personal favorites and they may differ from some of your favorites. So we'll keep it at that. And also the fact that these films that I'll be talking about are not in any particular order. It's not an order of preference. They just randomly discussed. But these are 10 of my favorite Saif Ali Khan films. The first movie will have to be Dil Chahta Hai, Farhan Akhtar's wonderful debut about three friends and their journey in life, their ups and downs in life. And Dil Chahta Hai, according to me, is is not just a fantastic film but a trendsetter of sorts. It sort of changed the sensibilities of commercial Hindi cinema and gave it a new face, a new look, a new approach to storytelling in Hindi cinema. It's a fantastic movie, and Amir Khan and Akshay Khanna put in wonderful performances, no doubt. They really have the strong roles of Akash and Sid. But between the two of them, there is this lovely character of Samir, the quiet, the shy, the witty, the at times hesitant friend. And Saif puts in a magnificent performance. This was to me the first instance when I took notice of Saif Ali Khan as a performer. To be in a movie with stalwarts like Amir Khan and Akshay Khanna and hold your own, and not just hold your own, but do such a brilliant job, that takes some doing. And Saif was absolutely superb in this movie. Dil Chahta Hai. The next film I want to talk about is Imtiaz Ali Khan's Love Aajkal. the first part before he remade it in 2020 with ironically Saif's daughter, Sara Ali, in the lead role. But this one is the original Love Ajkal with Saif and Deepika. And Saif puts in another great performance as Jay, the protagonist of the movie, and also as the young Rishi Kapoor, the Sardar, the young Sardar. He puts in a magnificent performance in both his roles, and the amazing thing about this transformation of Saif Ali Khan into a good actor is how effortless he is, and how free and how spontaneous his acting is. You almost feel at times that he is the character that he's playing. There could be no one else but him essaying that character. He's that good. There are no overt histrionics, or there are no over the top dramatic acting. It's all very subtle, it's all very underplayed, but it's also spontaneous and so wonderful that Saif has a pleasing charm which has evolved over the years and just makes him an even better actor now. Love Ajkal is a wonderful movie. The next film I want to talk about actually didn't do very well at the box office, but I thought Saif put in a wonderful performance in the movie as Daniel Khan in Kabir Khan's thriller Phantom. I think Saif was absolutely brilliant in his portrayal of this spy and this phantom-like character who goes about doing his duty of, cleaning up a lot of unwanted elements on the behalf of the Indian government and in the Indian army. And he essays his role superbly. It's a brilliant movie. It's unfortunately not a movie which did very well, but I think Phantom deserves a second look, and Saif Ali Khan's performance is one of the primary reasons for that. He is absolutely superb as Daniel Khan, and do watch Phantom again just to revisit his great performance. The next movie has Saif in a role which, very honestly, I would have never imagined him doing, because the role of a finance wizard Shakun Kothari is the last thing I would expect Saif Ali Khan to play. But that's his role in Bazaar, and to say that he's fabulous would be an understatement. I think it's one of Saif's most nuanced and mature performance. He is absolutely superb as the ruthless money-making machine that he is, and there is also a family man somewhere lurking within that character, which comes into prominence at crucial moments in the film. And Saif is simply superb. It's one of his better performances, Shakun Kothari in Bazaar. And in case you missed it, do watch it just to see how good Saif can be. He is really brilliant in this movie, Bazaar. Now, romantic comedies, rom-coms as we know them, they all have this trapping of being more or less the same as one another. Very little to distinguish one rom-com from another, unless it is a well-made rom-com. And to remake a rom-com like When Harry Met Sally really takes some guts, and to redo a role which was almost immortalized by Billy Crystal takes a lot of courage. And Saif Ali Khan as Karan does a wonderful job in Hum Tum. Hum Tum is more or less a faithful remake of When Harry Met Sally, and a good one at that. It's one of the better rom-coms made in Hindi cinema, with Rani Mukherjee and Saif essaying the roles played by Meg Ryan and Billy Crystal. But Saif is, once again, he is so effortless, he is so easygoing, he is so spontaneous. You almost feel that Saif is Karan. You just don't feel he's acting. He's so natural, he's so effortless in his portrayals. From an irresponsible, fun loving, slightly wacky guy to a more grounded, yet his sense of humor intact. It's a brilliant, brilliant portrayal, and one of Saif's better performances. Hum Tum, Saif Ali Khan as Karan. The next movie I want to talk about again shows Saif in a very different role, in a role which has shades of grey in it, and takes the audience by surprise the way his character evolves in the movie. And this is Renzel D'Souza's Kurban with Saif and Kareena. And I'm not sure whether this was the first time Saif and Kareena worked together, but it was one of their important movies together, and a superb one at that, where Saif plays a slightly shady character, and he's absolutely brilliant. As I said, his role has shades of grey in it. It's not completely a white role, and he does full justice to it. It's a brilliant movie, Kurban. Do watch it in case if you haven't, for Saif's performance. The next film, again, is a very unusual film, and I don't think it got a proper release. It was, I think, more or less, not released all over India for sure. And it's, I guess, available on the OTTs. But it's a very different movie. It's an out of the path movie, and I can imagine there being strong likes or dislikes about it. People can't be indifferent to it. That's Kalakandi. Kalakandi is, apparently it's a Marathi phrase, and it's quite a far out movie. It's about incidents of one night in the lives of a few different people. And Saif Ali Khan plays this man who has found out that he has very little time left in his life, with a fatal disease that he has contracted, and he doesn't have much time to live, so he decides to live life the way he wants to in his last few days. And it's a dark, edgy, and a very provocative movie. As I said, people have very strong likes or dislikes about it. I will not let my judgment of the movie, affect you or your decision to see the movie. But do see it for Saif's fantastic performance. He is brilliant in this movie. Well, although I said that this list was not in any particular order, and the movies are in random order, I have saved my top three of Saif right for the end, and it's time now to talk about them. And one of them is Homi Ajania's absolutely brilliant debut, Being Cyrus. And the movie stands on some fantastic performances, be it Nasiruddin Shah or Baman Irani or Dimple Kapadia, but none more than Saif Ali Khan as Cyrus. It's it's one of the superb thrillers that I have seen, and what a smashing debut by Homi Ajania, aided completely by this brilliant performance by Saif Ali Khan. He is simply superb. He is the backbone of this movie, and the way he carries this movie is just another example of how good and how evolved an actor he has become over the years. Being Cyrus is one of Saif Ali Khan's best movies. The next movie I want to talk about, again in my top three, is another debut film by the director, Sriram Raghavan's Ek Hasina Thi. And it's again a fantastic movie. And this was, I think, the first time I realized Saif Ali Khan's potential as a performer. From a smooth, suave, sweet-talking lover to the transformation that he undergoes in Ek Hasina Thi can only be achieved by an actor who is supremely talented. And Saif shows oodles and oodles of that talent in Ek Hasina Thi. I think it's one of his most shocking and one of his most scary performances. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Urmila is great, the movie is great, but I think the strength of Ek Hasina Thi is Saif's cold and menacing performance. Absolutely magnificent. Well, that leaves me with my last film, and I think by now you would have guessed which one it would be. It's one of the finest adaptations of Shakespeare in Hindi cinema, and it's Vishal Bhardwaj's take on Othello, known as Omkara. And Omkara to me is Saif Ali Khan as Langla Tyagi. I cannot imagine a more career-defining performance. I cannot imagine a more brilliant piece of casting, because had anyone before the movie told me Saif Ali Khan would be doing this role, I would laugh it off. I would have never imagined someone like Saif Ali Khan portraying the role of Langla Tyagi. But there he was under Vishal Bhardwaj's brilliant direction and putting in the performance of a lifetime. It's absolutely an iconic performance, and I think one of the best performances in Hindi cinema. And as I said, if ever a sign was needed or a signal was needed to mark the arrival of Saif Ali Khan as a performer, Langda Tyagi in Omkara was that moment. That you just cannot take Saif Ali Khan anything other than a great actor. He is simply superb. Amongst a very talented star cast of Ajay Devgan, Kareena Kapoor, Vivek Oberoi, the person who stands out the most in the movie is Saif Ali with his performance. To me, his best performance ever. Saif Ali Khan as Langda Tyagi in Omkara. Well, so these were my 10 favorite Saif Ali Khan movies. I hope you will agree with most of the films in your list. And do let me know if I have missed out any film which you think should be included in such a list, and put them in the comment section. I would love to read and know your views. And thank you for watching the video, and hope you liked it. And until the next time, bye for now.